Hey, episode number 42 of Horns Up, and this time, first time ever, we are doing Horns Up out of a pizzeria. That too in Lower Parel.
Because there's no Starbucks nearby.
We are here today because we are actually just minutes away from a gig at the Levi's Lounge that features a band called Hubris.
And there's a full stop in there, don't forget that.
Yeah, there's a full stop in the name. So, guys from Hubris, can you first introduce yourselves?
Hey, this is Jonathan, guitar player, producer, and sometimes bass player when we do pre-production as well.
And hey, it's Nathan. I'm the drummer and producing as well.
Alright, so Jonathan and Nathan. So you're essentially Nathan but with a Joe.
Exactly. Yeah, true. Exactly.
Okay, Peter actually kind of sounded off the very first question that we have. What's the full stop after Hubris for?
It's at first it started with just for the aesthetic of it.
Okay.
And also because when we first started, we realized that there was another band called Hubris. So we needed something extra special to stand out.
The reason I'm laughing is in our last episode, we spoke to a band called Devoid. And there are like 11 Devoids.
Oh, wow.
So I think this is one of the things most bands don't do.
Yeah.
Google their name before finalizing their name.
Actually, if you want to be really correct, Hubris is with a lowercase h and a full stop at the end. But Hubris with
Does
a
it
capital,
help you on Google SEO?
Absolutely not. But it's just to keep it like very very clear.
It actually took me time to understand why Joe decided to put like a small h and a dot at the end. So
Okay.
I always complain because I write the biography and stuff. And he's like, Nathan, don't forget to put the dot and the small h.
So is it only to set you guys apart from other Hubris, or is there something deeper to this?
It's just because we love the ambiguity of the term. It's negative in a way, but it's also very positive if you think of the Greek mythology.
Okay.
So, and the fact that you start a name and a full stop, like with a lowercase in the end, just a word with a full stop. We just like how it looks, and if you think about it, there's a lowercase and a full stop at the end. It's kind of ambiguous in a way.
Okay.
So it just kind of propagates this ambiguity further, I guess.
Was this the band name you always wanted?
When we first started, we had a different name. I don't remember what it was, but it was definitely shit. Otherwise, we would have kept it. And at that time, I was studying Greek mythology at university, and I was like, I love that name, that sound. Hubris is really cool because it actually is an English word as well, and it's spelled in two different ways, either with a Y or a U. I was like, I love the meaning. I love what they do with it in the mythology. And I asked Nathan, why not use it as the band's name? And then quick Google search. Shit, there's already someone named like this. So there we go. That's how it started.
Since you talked about like naming the band, when I was doing research and looking up your band, you guys are kind of relatively new in the post-rock scene.
True.
Because if you think about it, like 4 or 5 years ago, we had bands like Explosions in the Sky and stuff like that play here. So tell me what it's like starting out. Did you start off wanting to be a post-rock band? How did it become a post-rock band?
Yeah, so originally Nathan and I, we've been playing together for 15 years almost. Ever since we know each other, we've always played together. And it first started with a metal band, and then we set apart from other metal bands because we had post-rock elements in it. So
What kind of metal?
it was like metalcore, like some really shit metalcore. It wasn't good.
No, it was like just kind of deathcore music. No.
What kind of bands would you cover?
We didn't cover bands.
As in, like your very first jam, you're saying you didn't play. Everyone didn't come together and play Metallica.
Avenged Sevenfold, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. The first band we covered.
So I think this is one of our first bands that have like not talked about Metallica or Iron Maiden. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. Avenged Sevenfold was the first one. Bad Country actually was the title. But it was a metal band, and we had some post-rock elements in it. Heavily influenced by the Contortionist, but back then the first album, Exoplanet, and then we did our own thing, and then discovered the band, and we're like, oh shit, this is way better than what we do. this is what we want to
And
do, kind
and
of.
this is back when they had the deathcore-ish
Yeah,
vocals
exactly.
and stuff
So
like that,
we
right?
literally were very similar because we had the kind of the exact same mindset. We wanted deathcore and post rock in the same music, and then years went by and we were like, I don't know, I think I like post rock a bit better, but we didn't know anything about post rock really. We just liked the.
We actually didn't know post-rock exist.
Wow.
Yeah, just like when we had like pretty heavy parts, and we just wanted to have like more quiet parts, and just inserted this into music, and then people told us, oh, it sounds like post-rock, and then we just like discovered this genre.
So, how bummed out were you guys when you eventually discovered or were told that you guys are post rock, and then you listened to like, I don't know, 10s or 20s bands and figured out, oh my god, was our sound?
Yeah, actually, there's never been a part in my life where I got so much into post rock that I only listened to this. So when I first discovered about post rock as a genre, I bumped into This Will Destroy You, and this was a big revelation. I was like, oh fuck, this is
Right.
otherworldly.
And they're a killer band. Like,
Yeah,
I've seen
they're
them live,
amazing.
right?
I saw them live when I discovered them and all that. But after that, I was like, oh, this is awesome, and I kept listening to other things, metal, jazz, whatever. And I never really put myself into post rock, like delve into post rock and nothing else. So yeah. Over the years, I started listening to other bands and discovering that the post-rock scene is actually quite big, and there's different genre or sub-genres into post-rock. But I've never, it wasn't a wave of bands that I've discovered all at once that overwhelmed me or anything. Just rather one or two bands that I really got stuck into, and then kept listening to the other stuff I listened to.
And one other thing that stuck out for me was you're an instrumental band. So did you guys like have a vocalist in the start and then kind of said this is not working out, or did you guys just always figure that our music is better without a vocalist? How did that go about?
True. I mean, the metal band we had, there was a vocalist. So yeah, there was a point where we were like, okay, so we want to play post rock, and we don't need a vocalist, but there is a vocalist in the band. So what are we gonna do about him? But yeah, eventually it was just it was kind of natural. It didn't need vocals, so we just didn't have them.
Let's trace back to the very origins of Hubris, and when you guys started playing music. We learned that okay, you guys were metal, and from metalcore or whatever, you guys switched to post rock. When you initially start writing music together, what was the kind of sound that you were looking for, or did you? What was the vision that you were trying to create?
So really, what we did, at least for the first album, is just jam, and we would play what we thought sounded good, and what made us feel at ease, made us feel happy or anything. We didn't really think oh, this has to fit in a genre, or this has to sound this way or that. We just played what we liked, and that's why the first album sounds more traditional in a way, because it's a jam. The whole thing is a jam. And then the second album, we started to really set ourselves in the studio and ask ourselves some questions. Oh, what does this part need to sound bigger or to sound more melancholic or whatever we wanted to?
Okay.
To
So
get
then,
out.
at this moment, for people who've never heard Hubris, how would you define what Hubris sounds like?
Today,
At this
knowing
moment.
that we're going to release an album next year and then all that, and that we've composed it already, and
So what is the Hubris sound?
It's I guess it's a bit of everything. It's rock. There's ambient parts. There's hip hop parts. There's jazz parts. But it's not too heavily influenced by anything. So you can get some hints of every genre that I've cited, but you probably wouldn't figure it out. Like you wouldn't say, "Oh, this is jazz," because it's just influenced by jazz. So I'd say it's just rock, rock with some influences, ambient rock.
Is this something that is a reflection of what you listen to in your everyday music?
For sure. Yeah, we basically listen to everything but post rock, which is weird because then we still have to be part of the scene in a way, because that's the audience that we target.
Right.
Like unknowingly, we target no audience whatsoever, but the music that we produce is what that appeals the most to post rock listeners. So at the end of the day, we listen to anything but post-rock.
So I know I'm asking you this question since you're coming off tour and stuff like that, and touring when you're listening to a lot of post-rock, but if we had to just like ask you to quickly open your phone and tell us the last 5 albums or last 5 singles you've been listening to, that'd be an interesting experiment.
It'd be way more interesting if I changed the music I have on my phone sometimes, because I don't, but so what did I listen to last? Actually, I listened to Hubris last because I wanted to listen to the new mixes. So that's not a good example, but before that, I listened to Dafer Youssef, a Tunisian oud player, really good. Really, it's also ambient in a way. He's got like a very powerful voice. And Esbjørn Svensson, it's a Swedish piano player, very post-rocky in a way. It's jazz, but there's some post-rock elements in there. And George Benson.
And what
Give
about
me
Nathan?
the night.
And I've got The Contortionist, so and the album called Language. And then I've got Alchemist, so it's a jazz keyboard player from London, I think. He's really good. And then John Hopkins.
Okay.
So it's like really pure electronic music. And then it's John Hopkins again. 2 albums. And then Architect. It's more like a...
All right.
Not deathcore, but like metalcore band.
Yeah, metalcore-ish.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, given that you guys don't listen to a lot of post-rock, does the term or the genre post-rock bother you in any manner?
No.
Or are you guys just okay to be somehow associated with the genre?
Actually,
Would you rather be called, I don't know, hubris rock?
Hubris rock?
Actually, it would be too long to like define our music, because it wouldn't work on Spotify to be listed as jazz, rock, electronic, pop. It's too long. So yeah, I think post-rock describe our music like in the best way. Yeah. Even if it's not exactly post-rock.
Okay, this is weird because having spoken to a lot of bands, not just bands, just fans of music in general, there's a weird negative connotation associated with the term post anything. Like when you use post as a prefix, everybody, or not everybody, a large part of music fans generally look down on it, because what they end up associating the genre with is essentially shoegazing bedroom music that somehow you're replicating, endless amounts of delay, which then you're playing with. I mean, you're not fully playing it live when you're actually playing it live too. It's essentially being either synthesized or played over click tracks, etc. I don't know. What's your reaction to that?
I actually always I've never understood why people got confused with categories. They're just here to make people's life easier. If I type gent and Meshuggah's not in the list, I would get pissed, because to me Meshuggah's gent, but it doesn't matter if the category would piss them off, because the genre what they play to me sounds like other gen bands, and I would want to discover Meshuggah if I listen to other gen bands. So in a way, if we play something that sounds like post-rock and someone would want to end up listening to different post-rock bands, then why should we get pissed of being called post-rock? And then it might end up like making them discover the band. So
okay. And do you think this kind of association of post-rock, or the negative connotation of it, is it justified at all?
I just like, I don't think it's justified. I like having names for categories, and post-hardcore, post-rock, it's just a name. Who cares how it's done? Who cares what bands are into the categories? It's just a label.
I'm glad you're saying that, because that's the view that we have as well.
Yeah.
It's all Spotify's fault, I say. But coming back, tell me about something like, would you ever think you would come down to India, play a show like this? I mean, tell me the whole story of how the tour came about, because I'm very curious to know.
Well, this never in my life would I have expected, at least this year, to be in India. That's for sure.
Is this your first time here? Have
first time in India. Yeah,
for
my whole life. Yeah, for everyone in the band. Actually, the other 2 players, oh no, that's not true. One of the players had never left Europe before.
Wow.
So yeah. So we went all the way to Australia and then to India for these tours. So that was kind of a first for them.
What's it like coming from Australia and coming into India, landing out of the airport? What was your first reaction? Were you prepared for it? The
No,
onslaught
I
on
actually
your senses.
I kind of pissed them off for 2 months before we started the tour, because every day I'd be like telling them, guys, we're going to Australia and India to play some shows, and every day I'd say just this, just as a reminder, like how to be grateful that life just brought this upon us, and every day they'd be like, oh, just shut up, like it's not happened yet. So
but did Yadavir and Ronnie kind of prep you up? What was the kind of initiation they had for you guys before you all showed up?
None. They just said, oh, come to India, we'll put some shows for you guys, and it's going to be cool, and it is cool, like the result is there, so
But tell me, how did the whole thing about? I'm pretty sure it started off with an email, but what was your reaction to that?
Yeah, it started with Ronnie just coming to us and telling us, that'd be just incredible if you guys could make it to India one day. And then I think as it started as a joke, and then we just said, yeah, why not do it actually? Why not be completely serious about it and just pull this through? And it happened. I don't know how, but it did.
So has Australia and India so far lived up to your expectations?
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. They exceeded them like by far.
What were your expectations?
I really think people in Europe think like India has no like proper stage or proper PA or proper venues, but it's wrong, because we played yesterday in New Delhi and the venue was like amazing, super great PA, good sound guy. So we were like amazed how good India is for music.
I hope you guys didn't have to wear pollution masks.
we actually did, yeah. That was a lot of pollution.
But I did see one of your posts on Facebook where you talked about the ocean, right? And how they put out, and I was at the show, Animesh missed it, but I saw the documentary they put out recently of the entire shows, and it was such a throwback for me because it had been so many months. But did you guys, what did you all think while watching that?
Well, it's the second part where they there was all this festival bullshit and all that going on. I was like, oh, I hope this doesn't this will not happen to us. But definitely, I don't know. It seemed like they had a great time, except for this thing, and they still pulled a gig in a bar or something, which turns out to be amazing and all that. So yeah, after all, they took it on the bright side, I guess. So, but we didn't have many expectations actually. We kind of shut ourselves to expectations just to let everything come to us and immerse ourselves.
Is that because of any previous bad experience?
No, especially just because we don't like to set expectations and then be disappointed. But if you don't have anything, if you don't have any expectations, then you're happy. You can't be sad. Perhaps it's from experience. Yeah, true.
Okay, all right. Let's shift gears and talk actual music now. You guys have a new record coming out, which will be your third, and that'll be out in March next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. All music has been done, I'm guessing.
Everything's
been recorded,
finished.
set.
Yeah.
So what can people expect? Is it going to be significantly different from the second record?
It's different in a way, but it's very similar in another way. So it's
okay.
not.
So before we get there, can we play a song from the second record, which will help people just kind of identify who Hubris is?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which song should it be and why? And why pick that song?
Maybe Doom Mounts, because to me it's like way different than the new one. So maybe Doom Mounts is a good song to play.
All right, cool. So here it is. Here's Dumons.
Yep.
This is from Hubris' second record. the third album, what's it called again? I forget.
Metempsychosis.
Sorry?
Metempsychosis.
But B-side, it's Metempsychosis.
Metempsychosis. Okay.
I'm not taking this one.
Okay, cool. We'll dissect that name a little bit later.
Yeah.
How is it going to be different from what we just heard?
So it's going to be different in that there's more hip-hop influence in this album, and there's more jazz influence as well. But and also we tried in the last album we tried not to have too many parts where there were no arrangements at all. And in this album there are a few parts where there's only like 2 guitars and nothing else. So yeah, we tried not to set any limits. We just played what we thought was right for the part.
Were there any internal challenges or challenges that the band set for itself?
So, like the main difference is the second album. We were 5 guys making this album. Like Joe composing the guitar, Coco, he's like the guitar player, original guitar player. So yeah, it's 5 guys making the album. But this time it's only Joe and me making the entire album in like 4 months. Yeah, we started in April composing the album. Like the first, he had like many riffs, but like I heard the first riffs in April.
Okay.
So basically it's really different because it's only two brains, 2 minds composing the music.
Is it an easier process? I mean, is it true
yeah,
that more
in a way,
more
yeah.
cooks spoil the broth?
Yeah, it's more work, but in a way it's easier because when you don't like something, you just tell your friend, and then he says yeah, no, and then problem solved. When it's 5 guys, it's more complicated because you have like you do a meeting and a seating, and it goes crazy.
So it's like no better than work, right? A day job where you have to sit and discuss everything.
Yeah.
But do you think this was a better process just because y'all have been in bands for 15 years and y'all know each other that well?
Yeah. Because it's funny, but when Joe plays a guitar riff, I have directly an idea on the drums, and then he drums on my idea, and then we like go like this up to the end of the song. There's no like struggle. It's all fun.
Are you guys testing out new material on these shows?
Sorry, what was that?
Are you guys testing out songs from that album on these shows?
We're testing one at the moment, and sometimes 2. It depends. But yeah, we've been testing one for quite a few months already. We started playing a new song in September already.
Okay.
So
what's it called? Just so that
it's called
everybody
Adonis.
else who listens to this
It's called Adonis.
Adonis.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's the most ambient song of the album, the new album, but it's also the saddest one. And the end of the song is very happy. So it's a real contrast in the middle of the album. So we like it because the very first part of the album is kind of sad, and then it sort of shifts in the middle and then gets brighter and brighter towards the end. And this song is right in the middle, so it sounds both happy and sad at the same time.
Is the audience reacting as per your expectations when you guys play them Adonis?
Actually, way better than expectations, because every time we had kind of this record in our heads that every time we finish the penultimate riff, people will start applauding, and it's not the end of the song. And so far, it's never happened that nobody applauded at this part. And it's not the end of the song. So we're trying to push as far as possible. Whenever people are going to understand, this is not the end of the song, and they're not going to applaud. We're just probably never going to happen because it sounds like an ending.
Right. Where you're halfway through. 2 dates into the show, right?
Yeah.
Into your tour. How was Delhi, and what are you expecting from the next few shows?
Delhi was wild. We were really, really close, or very close proximity with the audience, and usually we like to get very wild on stage, so we kind of were limited because we didn't want to hurt anyone with our guitars or anything. But it was good to see people headbanging as wildly as we did and breaking their necks and getting into the music as much as people did yesterday. So yeah, that was heaps of fun.
So it's kind of strange, but you guys are probably going to be the heaviest act I've caught at a place like Levi's Lounge.
Yeah, weird, right? Because we caught Devin Townsend here, and he played an acoustic gig, so he really doesn't
awesome.
count.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So coming back, you guys are gonna. Now I'm actually looking forward to your show because you said you're not gonna just be playing there, standing in one place, which is, I think, unfortunately, the stereotype of most post rock or post.
Yeah, sometimes they sit.
Yeah. So you've been to those shows.
Yeah. It does actually, like, This Will Destroy You. I think one of the guitar player, he always sits for his gigs, and I think it does add something to their shows. Though it sets you in a more calm mood than what the music sets out. But it's contrasting, and I like it. But then I've been to thousands of jazz shows, and a lot of people play sitting down as well. So I guess it really depends on the mood, I guess.
Right. So thanks a lot, guys, for it's been
Awesome.
a pleasure talking to you all.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
So while Hubris is busy finishing their pizzas, yeah. So till the next time, Peter, you're at.
Trend Crusher.
I'm at Asmani. You can reach out to us at Honsa Pod. We're also online now, just announced. This is fresh announcing on episode number 42, hornsupod.com. It's live. It may be buggy. Why don't you log on and tell us how buggy it is? And we'd love to hear how buggy it is. And Hubris, if people want to reach out to you to, I don't know, maybe request for more songs that they can hear from the next album, how do they reach out to you?
Easiest would be by email, booking@hubrisband.com, and that's the easiest.
He's using this podcast.
All business, I see.
All business. Get them booked.
Exactly.
You guys already have a very busy first quarter of 2020. Are you guys like already?
Yeah, we're planning on a few tours next year, so we're trying to manage touring and managing other tours or next tour. So that's quite complicated.
Okay, awesome. So till the next time, horns up.
Next time, thank you so much.